everyone, so welcome back to my channel. So it is time for a pregnancy update video. Oh my goodness. So these will be coming more frequent because, well, there's more to talk about when you're further along in your pregnancy. So I am 37 weeks officially as of yesterday. And I had my doctor's appointment. When was it? I think it was Tuesday. Oh, so I'm getting there, y'all. Oh, about to pop. So 37 weeks pregnant with baby number 11. It's just so crazy how fast it just goes by really fast. Sorry about that. Some of my other kids had to ask me a question. Oh, so like I said, 37 weeks as of yesterday. My doctor's appointment was on Tuesday. And I actually had an ultrasound. So if you are new here, or I hate repeating myself, but in case you don't know, I am monitored pretty closely at the end of my pregnancies because I had 5 previous babies from Jackson, Miley, Logan, Reagan, Harper, all with low amniotic fluid, and I had to be induced. Then Drew and Kinley, I did not have that issue, and I went into labor on my own. Drew was 4 days late and Kinley was 6 days late. So that's the quick synopsis. So I had an ultrasound at 34 weeks. Everything looked great. Fluid levels were at an 18. That was the last pregnancy update that I gave. So at 37 weeks, they did another ultrasound. And guys, I am cracking up. I'm like, my fluid went up. Like, okay, so the range of fluid, so they measure 4 pockets on either side of the baby, 2 pockets on either side of the baby. And if it's 5 or below, you are admitted. And I actually had this happen with our boys, Jackson and Logan, and it was very scary because with Jackson, I had no fluid, and with Logan, it was at a 2 when they caught it at 36 weeks. So I'm thankful that the doctors monitor me closely towards the end. With the other babies that I was induced for, it was at a 5. So 5 or below, you're admitted, and usually just induced because it's just time to have a baby. Kind of crazy. Anyways, this time, so the fluid ranges are, they want it above a 5 and below a 24. So last ultrasound a couple weeks ago, I measured at an 18. On Tuesday, I measured at 23, y'all. 23. I'm like, that, it just cracks me up. Hi, Kenny. Okay, lots of real life and lots of interruptions around here. So like I said, I measured at a 23, and y'all, I was just dying, laughing, and cracking up. I'm like, seriously? For so many years and so many babies, I had this low amniotic issue, and now I'm on the higher end? Kind of funny, but much rather be on the higher end than the lower end, because the lower end, you just need to have a baby. So anyways, everything is monitoring well. The baby is doing good. I have plenty of fluid, praise the Lord. So I was joking. I've been eating a ton of watermelon, and I wonder if that's it. Like, Nathan was giving me a hard time. He's like, you definitely aren't drinking the amount of water that you should, which unfortunately he's right. But I have been eating a lot of watermelon, and obviously what's in watermelon? Water, fluid. So I don't know. Anyways, kind of funny. So the last pregnancy update that I shared, I said that the baby was measuring on the bigger side, and he is continuing to measure on the bigger side. So I can't remember if I said he was 6'1" in the last ultrasound or 6'11". I can't remember. I should have looked that up. He was measuring 7'7". Y'all, I have small babies, okay? Kinley was 7 pounds 7 ounces when she was born at 41 weeks. I was 6 days late, so pretty much 41 weeks. So that's kind of crazy to me. So far this baby is breaking like all of my normal things. I normally have issues with fluid. I've got plenty. I normally have small babies, and maybe that's why my babies were smaller, because of the lower fluid. I don't know. He's measuring big. But obviously with those measurements, it's give or take a pound. So we shall see. The biggest thing is that his head is measuring like 40 weeks already, and I'm 37 weeks. But I'm wondering if those measurements can't be skewed because his head is pretty low. And so I'm thinking with like how she has to measure it, those can't be right numbers, correct? Anyways, so I'm at the point where I will go back to the doctor every week. From here on out, I go next Friday, and I don't remember the other dates, but I do have them all scheduled for the remainder of up until my due date. So I'm not gonna lie, I'm kind of hoping for an October baby. Like, I don't really want to go late, My actual due date's September 29th, but we don't have an October baby. So it'd be kind of fun to have an October baby. So we do have one birthday in September, and it's at the beginning of the month, and that's Peyton. We have a lot of birthdays in August and one in July. So I thought, I don't know, just having an October, like a fall baby, just sounds like fun. We don't have one of those out of all of our kids. Most of our kids are in the spring or summer. Besides Miley, she's in January, so we have one winter baby. So I just think it'd be kind of fun to have an October baby. So wouldn't it be so cute to dress him up like a pumpkin? Okay, so anyways, I had a good doctor's appointment. I asked him a few questions. Kinley was our first baby to have at that hospital and to have at this doctor practice. So, and I was very far along in my pregnancy whenever I started going there. So I didn't know exactly how things work. So he answered all my questions and all of that. I did find out that they are requiring COVID testing again. There was a period of time where they had stopped requiring it whenever you went in to have a baby, but they are back to requiring it. So honestly, last year I was very anxious about that portion. Just the fear of the unknown. There was a lot of unknowns surrounding last year with COVID and all of that. But I don't really have as much anxiousness this time around about it. So, and the nurse that I had last with Kinley was fabulous, and I'm really praying that I have the same experience that I did whenever I went in to have her, because the nurses make all the difference. So that is my prayer right now, is that everything just goes smoothly. The doctor did ask me if I would like to schedule an induction. He told me, I can obviously have time to think about it. I would prefer to go into labor on my own. I just feel like it makes labor, much easier on your body. But I kind of feel a little more anxious about that portion this time around. I'm not exactly sure why, so I'm praying about what to do. I don't think I will schedule an induction. I think as long as everything's healthy and going good. I know my body. I know when labor is starting. And that's the doctor's concern, is that I would have a fast labor and need to, just if I didn't get to the hospital in time. So the only thing that I'm worried about is getting the epidural in time. So that's kind of my thought. Nathan's like, well, if you want the epidural, what does it matter being induced? And I'm like, well, it still is just the process of having the Pitocin and all that. I don't know. So I'm praying about it. I don't think I'm going to choose to be induced. I think I will do exactly what I did with our last two babies and just pray that I go into labor on my own. And it just all goes smoothly. That's my prayer. To give a little bit of an update from my previous vlog, I had shared about being in a lot of pain and having to go back to the chiropractor for a second time in a week. I try not to do that because, well, it costs money. But it really did help. I have the pelvic girdle pain. I forget the other letters for it, but I was really struggling to walk that day. And whatever she did, she worked her magic. I have felt better. Not 100%. I don't think I'll be 100% until after I have the baby. Maybe a little bit after I have the baby, I'll have to have a couple adjustments, but it did really help. And I have already been back to the chiropractor this week, and I told her, whatever you did last week, please do again, because I have been able to walk every day. She just laughed at me. And she did say, so the previous week I was really, really loose. And she said the relaxin has set in, and it's just your body's way of preparing to have a baby, obviously. And she said, I think I went yesterday. She was like, you're not quite as loose. She said, you're still really loose, but it's not as bad. So that'll help me, obviously, with mobility for the remainder of my pregnancy. So I'm thankful for that, because y'all, that was pretty intense pain that I was having. I was like, is this like the start of labor? Like, it was that intense. But it wasn't. It's just my body preparing. So hopefully the prodromal labor that I'm having and all these things will just make for a quicker labor. I don't know. That's what all of us mamas hope for, right? The other news is we have decided on a name. So if you haven't seen our videos, it is very hard for Nathan and I to agree on baby names, specifically baby boy names. So we have shared previous videos of us discussing baby names. I'll link those in the description box below because it's just kind of funny. So we have decided on a name, unless we happen to change our mind. I don't think we will. We don't typically do that once we decide on a name. That's why it takes us forever. But I'm not going to share it just in case we change our mind. And it'll be fun to share it once he's born. So anyways, so that's some exciting news as well. So that's how baby boy and I are doing. Thank you guys for all of your prayers and support and kind words. It truly means the world to me. So as you're thinking of us, just keep us in your prayers as far as preparing for the baby. I still have a list of things to do. I've got to get my butt in gear and get this stuff done. I'm planning on doing that today and tomorrow. So anyways, thanks for hanging out with me and hearing about our pregnancy update, and we'll see y'all in the next video.